Welcome back. I'm trying to live read this time because I'm trying to get better signal and I'm just trying to learn everything that changed in YouTube and Instagram since I stopped recording. So we're going to do things a little bit differently. Yesterday we did it like this as well, and I like it because this Dante's Inferno, I think, is really challenging. I don't always understand who's talking. I lose track. I mean, there's only two characters, but I lose track of if Virgil's talking, if Dante's talking, if some stranger is talking. Who are they referencing? Who are these allusions? These historical figure allusions that they're referencing. There's just a lot in classical literature that if you don't know, you don't know, and they're all built on each other. So the more you read, the more you know. Remember that from PBS? So I'm going to summarize what we're listening for in Canto 14. Dante and Virgil continue their journey through the third ring of the seventh circle. So we're trying to get to 9 circles of hell, but we're only in the seventh circle, where the violent against God, nature, and art are punished. So the last people were the people violent against themselves, and now it's those that are violent against God, nature, and art, so that they abused the earth, they abused literature or painting or museums. They abused their faith. They entered the blasphemer section. Now, remember, we've talked about blasphemy throughout many of my books. If you're not a religious person or a person who studied religion, this may be a really unusual word to you, but it's someone who goes against the truth of the scripture. So if the scripture says God is one and you say, no, God is many, then you're going against the truth of that belief system, and that makes you a blasphemer. Oh, it closes so quickly, my tablet. So they're the blasphemer second, a barren desert under a rain of fire. And if you go to my Instagram, you can see the photograph I found with the rain of fire and Adele singing Fire in the Rain. I thought it was fun. Dante observes the suffering of the damned, including blasphemers lying on the scorching sand, scorched by fiery rain. Virgil explains that these punishments reflect divine justice, the godly fairness. He's saying they deserved this because of how they acted in life. Fitting the sins committed in life. Dante speaks briefly with one of the souls, gaining insight into the severity of God's wrath and the eternal nature of punishment. This canto emphasizes sin, justice, and divine retribution. Retribution is getting even with, punishing, highlighting the horrors awaiting those who defy God. So these are really, remember, these are warnings to the people who are on earth to be aware that there is a consequence after this life, even if you escape the consequence in this life. The other thing I've done is add a whole bunch of words. I'm going to pronounce them for my ESL students or my ELL students. Blasphemer. Some say blasphemer. I say blasphemer. Barren. Scorch. Divine. Retribution. That was one of the words we just had. Infernal. Punishment. Desolate. Transgression. And eternal. Something I would encourage you to do if you're getting ready for SAT or ACT and you're really trying to build your vocabulary, go through these words. They're simple definitions. Come up with a synonym and an antonym for each word. There's some really good websites around that will help you with that. Yoko, I'm over here. My little blind dog can't find me and she's barking at the sofa. Come here, Yoko. Come here. I'm over here. She doesn't know where I am. Hey. You can't get to me. The table's in the way. Here. You know, we're on a live read here, Yoko. Come here. She can't figure it out. God bless her. To be blind, guys. She tries to find her way, but she just can't do it. She keeps bumping into everything. Here she is. Did you want to say hi to everybody? Is that what you wanted? There, so they don't think I'm talking to somebody that doesn't exist. Say hi, blasphemer. No, thank you for that. So if you know your antonyms and synonyms, work with those words. And then I only give 10 at a time. Don't try and memorize massive amounts of words. Try and get 2 or 3, especially if you connect with some of these, like scorch. That's a great word for burn. So if you're trying to build your vocabulary. Infernal, relating to hell, very cruel or unpleasant. So these are nice words that may or may not pop up on the ACT or SAT, and work with them. Include them in your daily dialogue. I don't know how you would work infernal in, but all right. So let's go to the reading portion. This is Canto 14. I thought I had it open, and of course, there's the summary. Where's the actual? I have it open on my other laptop. Let's see if I can just do it here. That might work. Yeah, here it is. Me of my native place, the dear constraint. Now remember, I'm reading off a PDF from Project Gutenberg. So this should all be public domain. So I shouldn't get my channel taken away again. So Canto 14, me of my native place, the dear constraint, led to restore the leaves which round were strewn, to him whose voice by this time was grown faint. Thence came we where the second round joins on unto the third, wherein how terrible the art of justice can be is well shown. But clearly of these wondrous things to tell, I say we entered on a plain of sand, which from its bed doth every plant repel. So nothing grows. The dolorous wood lies round it like a band, as that by the drear fosse is circled round. Upon its very edge we came to a stand, and there was nothing within, all that bound but burnt and heavy sand, like that once trod beneath the feet of Cato was the ground. Ah, what a terror! O revenge of God! Shouldst thou awake in any that may read of what before mine eyes was spread abroad? I of great herds of naked souls took heed. Most piteously was weeping every one, and different fortunes seemed to them decreed. For some of them upon the ground lay prone, like some are stretched out on the ground, and some were sitting huddled up and bent, like they're sitting like this, while others, restless, wandered up and down. Now, remember in the last circle, just before this in Canto 13, they were gnarled trees. They weren't bodies. Now we've got bodies roaming around again. Then they that were tormented lying low, but these had tongues more loosened to lament. So they're crying out, they could speak, or all the sand deliberate and slow. Broad open flakes of fire were downward rained, as among the Alps in calm descends the snow. Such Alexander saw when he attained the hottest India. I'm assuming that's Alexander the Great. On the earth remained. Wherefore he bade his phalanxes tread well the ground, because when taken one by one, the burning flakes they could the better quell put out. So here eternal fire was pouring down as tinder, not tinder the app, but tinder like when fire, like charcoal, like little tiny sticks and twigs, neath the steel. So here the sands kindled, whence pain more vehement was known. Vehement, that's a hard word to pronounce for my second language speakers. And dancing up and down, the wretched hands beat here and there forever without rest, brushing away from them the falling brands. And I, O master, by all things confessed victor, except by obdurate evil powers, who at the gate to stop our passage pressed, who is the enormous one who no way cowers beneath the fire with fierce disdainful air, lying as if untortured by the showers? And that same shade, because he was aware that touching him, I of my guide was fain to learn, cried, as in life, myself I bear in death, though Jupiter should tire again, not the planet, but the god. His smith, from whom he snatched and angry about the bolt by which I at the last was slain. Though one by one he tire the others out, at the black forge in Mongibello placed, while ho, good Vulcan, help me. These are all the Roman names of the gods. He shall shout, the cry he once at Phlegra's battle raised. Though hurled with all his might, at me shall fly his bolts, yet sweet revenge he shall not taste. Then spake my guide, and in a voice so high, never till then heard I from him such tone. O Capanius, because unquenchably thy pride doth burn, worse pain by thee is known. I don't have a very high voice. Into no torture save thy madness wild, fit for thy fury coldest thou be thrown. Then to me turning, with a face more mild, so he now turns to Dante and says, of the 7 kings was he of old, who leaguered Thebes, and as he, God, reviled him, in small reverence still he seems to hold. But for his bosom his own insolence supplies fit ornament, as now I told. Now follow, but take heed, lest passing hence thy feet upon the burning sand should tread, but keep them firm where runs the forest fence. We reached a place, nor any word we said, where issues from the wood a streamlet small. I shake but to recall its color red, like that which comes from Bulikami. Fall, and loosel women later mong them share. So through the sand this brooklet's waters crawl. Its bottom and its banks I was aware were stone, and stone the rims on either side. From this I knew the passage must be there. Of all that I had shown thee as thy guide, when we by the gateway entered in, they're finding their way through, right? Whose threshold unto no one is denied. Nothing by thee has yet encowered been so worthy as this brook to cause surprise, or which the falling fireflakes quenched or seen. These were my leader's words. For full supplies I praised him of the food of which to taste, keen appetite he made within me rise. In middle sea there lies a country waste, known by the name of Crete. I then was told, under whose king the world of yore was chased. There stands a mountain, once a joyous hold of woods and streams, as Ida. Ida is the mountain of the Greek gods. As Ida 'twas renowned, now 'tis deserted like a thing grown old. For a safe cradle 'twas but Rhea found, to nurse her child in, and his infant cry, lest it betrayed him, she with clamors drowned. Within the mountain old man towereth high, towards Damietta are his shoulders thrown. On Rome, as on his mirror, rests his eye. His head is fashioned of pure gold alone, of purest silver are his arms and chest. 'Tis brass to where his legs divide. Then down from that is all iron of the best, save, except the right foot, which is of bacon clay. And upon this foot doth he chiefly rest. Save, except what is gold, doth every part display a fissure dripping tears. These, gathering all together through the grotto, pierce away. From rock to rock into his deep they fall. Feed Acheron and Styx and Phlegethon. I'm reading the Iliad with one of my private students, and all of this connects to things from the Iliad. So this is all that classical literature. Far as the place where further slope is none, Cocytus form, and what that pool may be, I say not now. Thou'lt see it further on, if this brook rises. He was asked by me. Within our world, how comes it that no trace we saw of it till on this boundary? And he replied, Thou knowest that the place is round, and far as thou hast moved thy feet still to the left hand, sinking to the base, nevertheless thy circuit is not yet complete. Therefore something new we chance to spy. Amazement needs not on thy face have seat. I then, but master, where doth Lethe lie? And Phlegethon, of that thou sayest naught. Naught is nothing, zero. Of this thou sayest, those tears its flood supply. It likes me well to be by thee besought, but by the boiling red wave I was told, to half thy question was an answer brought. Lethe, not in this pit, shalt thou behold, thither to wash themselves, hither and thither, here and there. Thither to wash themselves the spirits go, when penitence has made them spotless souled. Then said he, From the wood 'tis fitting now that we depart. Behind me press thou nigh, stay close. Keep we the margins, for they do not glow, and over them, ere fallen, the fire flakes fly. Cato of Utica, I'm just looking at some of the footnotes. The Alps, we know, mountains in general. Alexander to Aristotle, there's a comment about. So if you're more curious, look at these footnotes. Eternal fire is always the character of the place, and the punishment bears a relation to the crimes of the inhabitants. They sinned against nature in a special sense, and now they're confined to the sterile sand where the only showers that fall are showers of fire. The dance named in the original the Tresca was one which the performance followed a leader and imitated him in all his gestures, waving their hands as he did up and down and from side to side. The simile is caught straight from common life. So all these similes and metaphors and symbols and references, allusions to other great works of art, that's what makes this really a hard study. And having a great teacher, which I am not for the classicals, for the classics, having a great teacher that has all this history just makes it all weave together and make perfect sense. Vulcame is a hot sulfur spring outside of Viterbo, was frequented in the Middle Ages. Have y'all ever been to a hot bath, a hot spring? They have them in Arkansas, and they're really nice, and they're supposed to be super healthy for your body. So again, if you want to expand your knowledge, go through the footnotes, and we've gotten 14 out of the way now. I need to think about what book I want to read next. I'm thinking Frankenstein. I enjoyed that one. Maybe Little Women. I'm reading that with another private student. And if you guys ever do need a private teacher, I can work internationally. I'm going to start probably full time in 2026. My full-time job is keeping me really busy, so I can't stop too soon because I need to make sure I have enough income to live on while I'm rebuilding my business. I just want to have more time to travel around, go to Brazil and San Francisco and Denver and Atlanta, where my family is, my friends are, Texas, Katie, all the different places. Hey, Fareed, how are you doing? So good to see you. Good to see old friends that I've known from the beginning. I'm thinking you're close to done with college, aren't you? You've been working at. I see you on Instagram, and I see things, pop in and pop out. So I hope you're doing great. This story is so hard for me. Don't enjoy it. I'm reading Dante's Inferno, and I never enjoyed teaching it. I still don't enjoy teaching it, but it's one of the classics that so many of the kids do read. Everything's going well. I'm getting better, getting healthier, trying to take care of myself so that I don't deteriorate too fast. But that means major lifestyle changes, which means a lot more rest, which means less time to get on YouTube. But I'm trying to get it kicked off again. It has been a while. And DM me on Instagram and get me caught up on what you're doing. Like I say, I see your feed, but I just don't want to bother you. So always great to see you. So that's all we've got. And guys, we're almost to 80, not quite yet, starting from 18,500 all the way down to 80, but that's okay. We're going to rebuild. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. So you guys take care of yourselves. Subscribe if you haven't already. Tell a friend about the channel. See if there's any books on the playlist that are useful to you. And I will read to you next time. See ya.